Stifler, ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10, starting with you. Go ahead.
Maybe like a 6.
Okay.
9.
7. 10 in Jesus' eyes.
Yes.
That's like Godfidence.
Godfidence?
I love that.
Like confidence in God?
Yes.
Merged together? Okay.
Yes.
We're rating ourselves?
Yeah, your own self-assessment of your physical appearance.
I think I'm a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess by the world standard, if I'm going to rate myself after having 2 children, I'd probably give myself an 8.
10.
I mean,
Stunning.
I'm not where I'd like to be.
I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. My bad.
What?
Huh?
What? I mean, I'm not physically perfect, and that's okay. Like, I'm humble enough to admit that, right?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing? Enlighten me.
Andrew, why are you laughing, Andrew?
I'm being honest.
Are you thinking about
Andrew.
your wife, Andrew? Stop it.
Andrew, how dare you? How
old are you?
I'm 37.
Yeah, when you were 27, were you a 10?
I probably would have rated myself a 10. I looked pretty good.
Of course you would have. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, right? Is there is something, and this has been something you've been suffering from all night, called cognitive dissonance and a inability to grasp what is reality. There is no fucking universe in which you are an 8. Now, the thing is
that's
that
a bit harsh.
that's not me being
Perspective is
mean
different.
even.
Beauty
I'm
is
just giving you
different in people's
objective reality. That is an
Beauty is different in
objective
other
standard
people's
that
eyes.
there's nobody on planet Earth who would disagree with that standard.
Do you want to rate yourself?
I'd be scared to now.
No.
Beauty is different in
No,
everyone.
I mean, I just think he's
Go ahead.
very
Just-
opinionated
if you
man.
can, just-
I'd say like a 5.5. I'm really happy with that.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I'm a 20, 25, maybe 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I give myself a 5. I'm a 5.
Since we're all going to be delusional
Give it a
tonight,
5.
I'll just go with the maximum number I can think of.
He's going max
Like a
delusional.
gajillion.
Max.
Yeah.
Max delusional.
So I'm curious.
Wait, who's the highest? Who's the highest
You're
here?
a
You?
solid 10.
Did you say 9?
I think I said a 9.
You said you're
I
9?
said 10.
Oh, no, so sorry. Yeah, you said you were 10.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I like the poking of the bear, so I'll take this one. I said a 5.5. I still have.
But I didn't say anything was wrong with your answer.
You said everyone seems to be delusional, so I was just like, all right, I'm open to criticism on that one. So.
Killer
Yeah,
of
but do you
Cereal
actually believe you're
donated
5.5?
$200.
Like, honestly?
So if smoking a cig is the same as sucking a peen, then what if the guy with whom the peen is being sucked is smoking a cig at the same time? Is he also sucking a peen, or is he smoking a cigarette?
What is this?
Oh, it's all the same, bro. You know, it's all the same. Yeah, if you go rob little old ladies and then beat their brains in on the street, that's
God.
the same
Whoa.
as stealing a penny, bro. Come on. Like, use your brain. I don't know what's wrong with you. But anyway, back to this. Do you
Thank you,
honestly
Kill Up Cereal.
think
Thank you,
that
Kill Up
that you're a 4? So I'm a 4 objectively, right? Maybe less. I understand that. Like that's objective reality.
I give you like a solid 6.
But do you really are you
6.
doing that because it's a humble brag, or are you doing it because it's actual objective reality? Like, this is a problem we run into all the time, right? Trying to determine what you actually think. And I think that a lot of women hide their answer. They don't really think that. Sometimes they just try to humble brag. And so I'm just curious, like, is it actually true? Do you really honestly think you're a 5?
A 5.5, yeah. I think I work out. I still have a decent 6-pack. I don't smoke. Like physically fit. The reason why, like, I think I'm a little bit lower is like I have scoliosis. So if I'm not holding my posture properly, then you know it's not the most like I look like I'm slunching over.
And you think that that's an honest answer, right?
I think that's an honest like.
Well, then
again,
let me ask you if you can give me another honest answer. Do you agree with the assessment of the girl who's sitting right next to you who just told us that at 37 she's an 8?
I'm not the host of this podcast.
Yeah,
so I
you're
don't
not
have
going
to
to answer that fucking
But
question, are you?
I think.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to
confidence-
answer that. It's all about honesty a second ago.
Okay,
Right?
all right. I'll give because at this point, I think your self-love is great, but I think the scales they use in the past of like the most beautiful woman in the world, outside of skills and personality, like an 8 is like Angelina Jolie when she was doing the Golden Globes in that dress,
Yeah.
right? I think I
Okay, we
would
only lower it.
I would be a little bit
Angelina
more,
Jolie. Oh my god.
like most beautiful woman in the world,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I'm like, okay, like halfway mark, maybe I'll give myself a 0.5 because I've got some good genetics on that. You know, that's where I went with mine.
Yeah.
Do you think you're better looking than she is?
Me to Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
God,
no. To the chick next to you. It's all honesty, right? We're all being honest here. Isn't it all about
Give me
honesty?
somebody
Everybody
my-
in this room is better looking
Give
than
me
you.
somebody my own
That's the honest thing.
age, because it's hard to compare. Like, I can't compare with you. Like,
Well, I thought you just got done saying we have an objective standard. Yeah, you can compare.
I think in men's eyes, if we were both wearing the exact same outfit and they were going to approach one, it's blonde hair, blue eyes, a little bit younger, I think, at that point. But,
Unless the men prefer brunette.
yeah, see,
It's beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
yeah.
You know.
Do you
I'm
think
a-
that the
I'm a
fact that
10 to
she's
my
37
husband,
might
so it's
also
all
have
good.
something to do? Do you think maybe the fact that she's 37 might also have something to do with that?
And that's
like,
what I
honestly?
said. Give me somebody who's the same age, and like I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, same age, same whatever, cool. But it's like she's already had 2. She's 37. Like how like
It doesn't seem a little bit delusional to you? Like a little tiny bit that's the answer?
Don't you think she looks great? Like, especially like, how old are you
I'm
again?
not saying. Listen, I'm not
37,
saying
I'm
that.
almost 40.
I'm not,
You're
I'm not
like, oh
saying
my
anybody here looks
God.
bad. I'm saying everybody here,
And her outfit's
as
eating.
opposed to me especially, is beautiful, great. But that doesn't mean that the standard doesn't exist. She just got done saying there's an objective standard. I'm like, but you can't compare, really? She's like, well, okay, that actually doesn't make any sense. But she's trying to be nice, right? She's trying to be nice. I want to
No,
nicely do this.
she said her
It's like,
because she said
it's
like a man that
delusional,
would-
right? Come on, it's delusional. You know it is.
I
Just say it's
honestly
delusional.
don't care what you think I rate as because I am a 10 to my husband and I'm married. I'm not on the market. I never will be on the market. So it honestly doesn't
And you
matter.
should be a 10 to your husband. Great. I'm sure my wife thinks I'm a 10 too, but I'm fucking not. So the thing is like, great. I'm glad that he thinks that. More power to him. He should think that. It's fantastic. But back to objective reality.
Do you like the hairstyle, Andrew? I'm like,
It's you're really doing it tonight, bro.
am I pulling it off?
You need his little curly that hangs down.
Am I pulling it off?
Yeah,
Andrew?
well, you gotta, you
How
have
do you
to do
style
it in
it?
such a
Curly
way
adds a point.
where it looks like it's
Curly.
okay if you're wearing a leather jacket to pick your teeth with a switchblade. That's the key.
Okay,
I
I'll
think
be
you're
I'll be
almost
back.
there.
I'll be back. Okay.
So anyway, yeah, back to this. I'm not even trying to pitch against one another. I'm just saying if there is an objective standard, right, and you agree that there is, then these women's answers are not in any way credible to the
I just think for me,
right?
I'm not comparing myself to an Angelina Jolie. I'm comparing myself to myself because I don't live in a world of comparison. I don't sit and compare myself to the women sitting
Well, then how
across
do you
from
know?
me or next. Because I compare myself to what I once looked like.
And didn't you say, okay, I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but then you would be using the objective standard of the world.
Right.
There's
so-
no other way. There's no
I
other
mean,
standard
but
you
I'm
could
not
be
sitting
using, right?
comparing myself to other women. I'm saying, okay, when I look at myself when I was like 21, like I was at my best version of myself, maybe 25, best version of myself. As I've been aging, obviously, compared to what I used to look like, I would deduct points from myself. But I'm not sitting here comparing myself to like any
Nabu donated
beautiful actress.
$200. Wow, blonde girl, I give you props. You may be the only woman on this channel to ever be honest with the ratings. Regardless of the other crap you said tonight, I'm gonna give you a W for that.
With a capital, it's going to be capital W, right? So she did say there's an objective standard. She made sure that she wasn't in any way, shape, or form a hypocrite with that standard. That's why I asked her if that's true. Can you just tell us if these women's ratings are true or false? Tell us.
I'm not the host of the podcast.
No,
I
you
don't have to
don't
do
want
that.
to?
No, I'm Canadian. Give me a break, man.
Neutral.
That goes against
right, fair
every
enough,
part
fair
of our
enough.
code.
Okay. Just saying. I feel like if you were to respond, though, that you would say that a little bit of delusion in the room, yeah? And by the way, I've been sitting exactly where you're sitting, and I know that on camera, all these women look way better than they do in person. I'm just going to say, right? That's an observation that I've made being there many times. So,
Is it good? Doesn't look good. Guys.
are they delusional?
Looks great.
He's got it.
You look like a 10, bro.
There you go. Thank you. I'll send you a switchblade, bro.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very
So
much.
are they delusional?
I think the
Who's
world
that
wants
to-
us
who's
to
asking?
compare, but I think all
She's not gonna answer. Come on, answer. Are they delusional? Are they wrong?
Canadian code. I gotta live in America at least for a month before I have the balls to be able to say that one.
All right.
she needs her visa.
I got that. I got that. I'm legally allowed to work here, but the maple syrup has to drain from my veins, so I'm not so sweet.
I like that. That's good.
Good talk. We have a chat here from Brian Jones. Question for Andrew: what would you want your daughter to rate herself at? Not a 10? Question mark. Mine is always a 10, delusional or not. From Brian with the inferior spelling of Brian.
A father's love.
So, would you lie to her, Brian? If your daughter came to you and she was like, let's say she was a little fat kid, and she came to you and she was like, hey, I really want the guy who's the captain of the football team who's out there with Cindy Lou, who is, I don't know, a double D, and she's gorgeous and she has blonde hair. Are you going to lie to her? Or are you going to be like, well, you go get him, honey, because you're a 10? Or are you going to be a little bit more realistic? You don't have to hurt her feelings. But I would do the same thing with
But maybe that
my
football
boy.
player
I'd do
likes
the same
that
thing
kind
with
of
my
girl.
boy. I'd be like, yeah,
The
that
thing
chick's
is-
way out of your fucking league. Are you insane?
But you don't know.
And
Maybe that
what-
footballer
Hang on.
player
Let me finish. The question was addressed to
These are
me.
not
I'm
godly
sure you
answers.
can
There's
get
no
in
way you're
just
Christian.
after that, right? Hang on a second.
There's no way he's a Christian.
What I'm saying, though, is that, yeah, I think I would be totally honest with her about what is true. Because it's necessary. You have to be honest with people about what is true. It's not comfortable. I get that. Cognitive dissonance sucks. It's not great. But yeah, I think you have to be honest about things.
When I was a kid, I got bullied really bad.
So did I.
Full body brace. I had a shaved head, and I was in Boy Scouts, and I was getting bullied. And I went home crying to my mom, and I was like, "Mom, am I pretty?" Because all the girls' moms are saying how pretty they were, and I was getting called a boy and stuff like that. And my mom's response was, "You're a nice person."
Oh.
But
How did that affect you?
I'm grateful though, in a sense, because like when I was younger, that hurt like balls, because I was like, I am an ugly duckling as I'm getting bullied. But the thing was, my mom's goal was for me to base my life off of my character as a good person, and being, and that's why I got like all those. What the hell are those? I can't even remember right now. It's some reward for being like the nice person in school, and it was by doing good deeds, and so that's what I focused on versus focusing on my looks.
Yeah.
And like my hair, I cut it for cancer to make a wig for kids. So like it was, but instead of it being about the looks and be like, no, you are pretty. Don't worry about those kids. She's like, enough people are going to tell you you're pretty when you're older, so I'm not going to say it to you.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I had nothing to do with any of this.
But-
Moving on.
I think you don't
Go ahead, Nick.
lie
Go
to your
ahead.
kids.
Go ahead, Nick. Save us. Nick, save us. All right, we're gonna make it bigger, please.
Oh, I love this video.
Not us. Yeah. Put us on the other side. All right. This is related to the leading thing. Go ahead.
So I want guidance. I want leadership. But don't just like boss me around, Like lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. So I want guidance. I want leadership. But don't just like boss me around, Like lead me. Lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. So I want guidance.
By the way, that should have been in.
Who is this
tab.
guy? It's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it's from The Office. Oh, we should have had Andrew's reaction while that was playing. Andrew,
that was fantastic.
Your reaction to that.
He's completely right. That's a type of nonsensical thing that I hear nonstop all the time, especially when we're asking about submission, we're asking about marriage, you're wondering why so many of them fail. That's actually the primary reason, is because of the inconsistency in women's ideology and the inconsistency in how they view relationships. I want to be led when I want to be led. I want this when I want that. It's like, that's not submission. That's not marriage. It's nonsense. I don't know what the hell that is. But this is what we hear time and time and time again. And it's complete and total, from my purview, cognitive dissonance of, I just don't know what the hell I want. And there's a huge and ample array of studies which show that women basically all over the world, and I'm going to tell you this, right? And I'll give those to Brian if he wants to show them to anybody. Basically, women everywhere are unhappy and miserable. Everywhere in the whole world. They're just never fucking happy. It's crazy. But when they're polled, right, when they always have a lesser happiness index, no matter where. Even in the countries where they're supposed to be the happiest, they're just always fucking miserable. And it's because I think a lot of this feminism and westernized ideology has been exported, and basically women have forgotten what their place in the world is. And it's not beside a man, it's behind him.
Do you guys agree or disagree? Agree? Disagree? Thoughts? Opinions?
That's why
feelings?
women are unhappy.
I think if you have Jesus, you're happy.
love
Period. You're grateful
Well, a lot of
every
them claim
day.
they
You're
have
grateful
Jesus, and
every
also
day
claim
that
they're
He
quite
saved your
miserable,
life,
so.
and you want to spread that to other people, and you are happy. If you're not, then obviously there's something that you need to work on. So I think you're comparing it maybe to, I don't know where you get your stats, but it's definitely not.
Well, you can find them over on Rachel Wilson's Substack. She did an entire article on this, explaining where all of
On
these
miserable Christians
different
who have a relationship with Jesus.
What?
No, he's saying just women in general because of following the
Yeah.
feminism movement.
Yeah, but even if they identify as being Christians, they're still miserable.
No, then
Well,
there
I
there
mean-
are many. There are many, right? But I
Yeah,
mean,
there are
for
many.
me,
They're not following
I have
him
had
correctly.
a close relationship to God for 12 years, and I've been consecutively like full of joy for the last 12 years. Like, I'm very happy. I'm happily married. I love my husband. I love my children. Like, you know, sure, I've had seasons like after giving birth where things were hard, but for the most part, I've had consecutive joy for 12 years.
Yeah, that's great. I understand what you're saying, but this really doesn't address what I'm saying, which is that there's many people who identify as being Christians who are still, especially females, seem to be quite miserable.
Yeah.
Right? That
They must not be following him correctly.
No, I mean,
it's because wait.
they had a relationship
I thought
with him,
there
they'd
was
be
no
so full of
standard a
joy.
minute ago.
They'd be so
It's
full of
just
joy
about
like
your
you.
relationship with the Lord. There's no standard. They're not following him correctly. That's so weird.
yeah, I
I
mean,
thought there was no
I've met a
standard
lot of
5 minutes
women in the
ago.
church who are very unhappy. They're negative. They're complainers. All the things. But then when I ask them about their spiritual walk, like they don't read their Bible hardly ever. They show up to church, and that's
Because they
about
have
it.
to.
So it's more than that. Like, you should be reading your Bible daily. You should be praying and worshiping and spending time with God, because the fruit of the Spirit is joy. One of the fruits of the Spirit is joy. And so if you're an unhappy person, then what's going on in your heart that's making you unhappy that you haven't either sought therapy or allowed Jesus to heal you from?
Therapy's an L, bro. Red flag.
You can
if she's
find
in
this. It's
therapy.
called The Paradox of Declining Female Happiness. It's fantastic. I highly recommend that people read this so that they understand it. But everything that you just said would still adhere to a standard, right? So we're talking about a standard.
So you don't try to make your wife happy because she's already miserable.
No, I didn't say
kinda
that. It
based.
has nothing to do with
It's kinda based.
why. How does that even follow? Can you explain the logic to me? I'm going to sit
Well,
here
you're saying
patiently while you
you're saying
explain
all women
how that
are,
even
are
made
miserable.
sense.
You're saying all women are miserable, so you don't even have to.
I don't think he said all women.
No,
No, that's not what I said.
He didn't
I
say
said
that.
there is a paradox of the decline of female happiness globally, and that basically everywhere you pull them, they're less happy than men. Almost everywhere.
Wait,
Yeah,
Andrew,
he
can I,
added in the
Andrew, can I be
Christianity
devil's advocate here? You probably hear this retort.
I feel like men aren't as honest with their
Andrew,
emotions.
then how do you explain the fact that men are deleting themselves at higher rates, if that's true?
And they're not as honest
Because they're
about their
better at it.
emotions.
Okay.
They both. It's true. They both. Actually, when it comes to unaliving, women and men are about on par with the attempts. It just happens that men are so good and skilled at basically everything they do that they actually follow through
Damn, this is kinda
and
dark.
actually end up with the termination, whereas women do not because they fucking suck at it. That's why. I mean, I'm not even kidding. That's
They
true.
suck
The
at deleting
attempts made are
themselves.
about equal. They just suck at it.
I have a question for Andrew.
Word.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about putting in a tampon?
What the fuck? Wait, actually, you know what?
That was a joke. I'm totally kidding.
Like
but
men?
I was just like,
Are you talking about like trans women?
I mean, no, but just like
Trans women?
I
I bet.
was just like, are men really better at putting in tampons?
Like I think trans women are probably better.
Yeah, I'm sure that male doctors who are gynecologists probably are.
That's totally a joke, though,
Like-
Andrew.
But
Yeah,
you know
no, it was a
what?
joke back. It's just that mine was funny. But anyway.
But actually, like trans women or whatever, like
Right.
I think they're kind of like better at a lot of shit. Like didn't a trans woman
Well, I'll give you an example of what you're saying here, like what Brian is saying. I have yet to find a skilled pro-feminist female debater anywhere, and I put out the call on the biggest platforms you can imagine.
Killer of Cereal donated
But there's a lot of
$200.
trans
What
pro-feminist
is the
debaters who
real
are pretty
feminist
good
message in
because I think they're
2024?
men. Because they're men.
What's it about
That's
anymore?
why.
Could men be deleting themselves due to this message?
what is the real feminist message?